you need something new to listen, out of all the other shit, Bass Tapes has what you need, and it goes like this. Every other Friday morning, you get a little treat, something not too long and feels more complete. Bass Tapes, Bass Tapes, Bass Tapes. Please listen to our Bass Tapes.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of Bass Tapes. If you're listening to this, remember you're listening on the Patreon first. Sign up for a free week trial. You get the Based After Dark Patreon cast, and you get early release episodes of the Bass Tapes. And speaking of an absolute based episode, I have one of the bass gods himself with me, Mr. Nine Rain.
What's up, man? Hello, everybody. Hello, podcast listeners. I don't fucking.
You've done this before, man.
Hey, guys. Yeah. No, dude. It's like it's the first time every time, you know?
Absolutely. That's how I feel like when I have sex. You know, it's the first time every time.
Yeah, like it's getting worse, actually. You're like, dude, what is happening? There's been a downhill slump for 3 years.
Whoa. You just got married. You can't be saying that already. You can't be saying that.
I'm not talking about me, obviously. I'm just saying some people go through that kind of thing, and, you know?
Yeah.
Hey, man. We're here to have the tough conversations on the podcast, so. No,
definitely. Before we get into tough conversations, what I do want to open up the podcast with is the listener's favorite, is RuneScape. And we are at a monumental time in the game. I believe we've broken 260,000 concurrent players.
What the fuck? Really? 260?
It was either 250 or 260. I want to say 260 because I believe the most recent screenshot I've seen is 264,000 online players.
Yeah, half of those are real.
Well,
but it's a big nod. You know, we'll take those. That's great.
Well, we can actually bring that up. Do you think Jagex is doing a good job handling all the bots right now?
No one thinks that. It's terrible. They're doing super bad. It's fucking horrible. Do I really care that much? No, I just log in and I do my thing, and it is what it is. Economy goes up, economy goes down. Bots cheat on everything. The high scores are totally fucked, but whatever, man. Like, I click boss. I go AFK mine shooting stars and have a good time, so they're doing a terrible job, but it ain't going to keep me down.
Yeah, I would say it doesn't really affect your game account as much because you're an Ironman that's not an Ironman, but
but I can still but it does just as much as anyone, in the sense that, like, if bots farmed 10,000 twisted bows and the twisted bow crashed and the economy sucked, everyone would be demoralized and nothing would be cool. So, like, in that sense,
agreed.
It's just as much a part of the water as anything else. And so my account's got some weird stuff, like where, like, oh yeah, that doesn't affect me as much. That does. But at the end of the day, everybody wants RuneScape to be happy and healthy and fun, and for all the achievements to be meaningful. So I think that's most people's problem with bots, is they make stuff that feels good feel less good.
Right. Well, even with this botting problem that I'd say Jagex does not seem to have a handle on, I'd say that the game is in a really good spot, especially with all these.
Absolutely.
I mean, I think we're 3 months into, like, from when the WoW streamers came over, and
by WoW streamers, do we just mean? And forgive me if, like, you're one of the WoW streamers and I haven't seen your stuff. There's like Guzu, Savix,
Sardoko,
is any
Shobek.
Okay.
And I think that's all even I know.
I mean, what's his face did it for like 2 weeks.
Soda Poppin'.
Oh, yeah, I follow Guzu loosely. I'm just kind of cheering for him from the sidelines. I'll watch a video every once in a while. Savix, I've seen clips of Savix, but I haven't watched any of his stuff. I mean, I'm just happy to see people liking the game and, you know, putting their best foot forward when interacting with it, like taking it for what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, I had someone come in to put in another Ethernet like they had to run a cable up through the walls through the attic kind of thing to put Ethernet in another room of my house. And the dude on his lunch break was playing RuneScape, so we chatted for a little while. He was doing like a fire giant task with a crystal bow. I was like, hell yeah, dude, he's having fun playing the game.
Was he a main account? He had to have been, right?
Yeah, it was a main account. It was a main account.
Dude,
yeah.
Crystal bow at the Fire Giants on mobile. That's
he had
crazy.
Full crystal armor and a crystal bow. I think was just saving up for the bofa.
That's insane, dude. I'm so out of the loop if that's what people are doing for a Fire Giant task, man. Like,
he was having a blast. I think he's having just as much fun as me.
Well, that's what matters, right? Like, it is a little frustrating to play RuneScape now as like an adult and like a self-aware adult, because like when you do things, you want to be time efficient because you know, like, okay, I have like X amount of time I can set aside to play this game. Do I want to be running around in black gold because it looks cool? Or do I want to wear the best shit possible, right? And I feel like that's the conflict. Because, like, when Soulja Boy would play, he didn't care. He was just walking around and people were giving him cool shit. And he's like, can I wear this? And they're like, no, you can't wear that. You need, like, 40 or 30 defense. He's like, all right, how do I get 30 defense? We're like, well, go kill chickens. And Soulja Boy is literally killing chickens for 3 hours to get 30 defense to put on the black trim. I don't know if it's... I think black is actually 10 defense.
It'd be 10. Yeah.
It would be 10. Correct.
Yeah.
Well, you are a different case because you're also like a content creator tied around like the RuneScape that you play. Has any time it felt like a chore?
All the fucking time.
All the time.
But that's not a complaint. When I make myself get up and go to work every day, just like the average person. Now, there are occasional days, like, where I wake up and I'm excited about the project I'm working on. But I imagine that people who like their job, they get plenty of those days too. So this is not a complaint, but it is self-motivated. Like I do have to get up and go, I am going to do this today. And part of my job is to remind myself how much fun I get to have and to really sink my teeth into it and give the audience like a good, heartfelt, natural response to the game and to allow myself to have fun doing it. So, but all of that is intentional at this point. And you kind of got to warm yourself up to it. But so I guess that's the nuanced answer. The short answer is I have fun playing the game, especially when new stuff comes out. All of the Varlamore releases, new content where I can just run around and right click on stuff. You can just go watch the different episodes where that's the point. I'm having way more fun in those videos where I can just like, oh, what's this? Holy shit, what are those? Oh my God, a capybara? Wait, a new hunter spot? Like all of that stuff is my favorite part of the game. If they just keep releasing expansions and new islands and stuff, I'm just going to run around and right click stuff forever. So,
and
yeah, that's
just to talk on like the expansions part. And I feel like that's another reason why the WoW players have like really gotten addicted to, they're like, wait, I don't have to pay another $60 for a new shit for the game, and like nothing gets reset, and everything just gets added on top. Because like that's how WoW works. From what Tasty explained to me, is that every time a new expansion came out, your best in slot armor is now worthless, and like you basically just have to do everything again. Whereas when RuneScape releases an expansion, it's not like, oh, I have to do everything again now. It's just an added layer on top of it. It's just something more that I can do if I choose to do so. And I think this also ties back into your Yama video when they released Yama, and you did Yama for a long time. I watched that video, and you looked like you were having the most fun ever.
I had a really good time for like, wait, It depends on which Yama video you watch, because there's the first Yama video, and it was a blast, where I was exploring the content. I got my first handful of Yama kills. I went and I did the mining method, and like, it's the run around and right click thing. I had so much fun doing that. And then I did a second Yama video where Ingus and I went, like, crawled down into the depths of hell for 3 weeks and did nothing but like log on and kill Yama again. And that was fun, but that definitely started to, man, 1 week into that with 0 drops, and I was like, fuck this, fuck this, fuck this.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. It's a little bit of both, depending on which Yama video. Although I think they're both, the final product of the video, even on the second one, was a really good video. So
it's it's finding the diamond in the rough, right? And I feel like that's like the majority of like what RuneScape is you're doing a lot of quote unquote chore activities, like to get to a certain point or to get to a bonus to make something more efficient. And it's like along the way, it feels like it sucks, but there are these glimmering moments to where like you're like, oh, this is the best. There's no game better than this. Like I've been going through on a baby main and just doing I'm following like the quest helper guide, like the optimal guide, and then like doing small skilling in between to get requirements for the quest in the future that I have to do. And it's really, I'm not falling back in love with the game, but I do find myself being like certain days like, oh, let's do like 2 or 3 quests today. Let's hop on and let's progress the account a little bit more. And I really, and that's obviously like the casual playthrough style, right? But it is good to enjoy the game sometimes.
You know what? I totally forgot. I released a video. I forgot I released this. I released like a video essay-ish style video called The Real Reason RuneScape is the True WoW Killer.
Mm-hmm.
But the video was all about the motivation systems that drive people and how RuneScape does a good job of what would you say, like modeling that. Like
yes.
The reason RuneScape is fun is because it does a good job of modeling the what the play cycle does a good job of modeling what you actually do in the real world when you're setting goals and you're moving towards them. So yeah, like if you, as long as RuneScape has little things that it's the oh man, it's the one small favor all over again. It's like the quintessential RuneScape experience is I have to do this thing to do this thing to do this thing better so I can do this thing better so I can do this thing so I can do this other thing. And all of that so I can save 5 minutes once a week on a tree run or something like bullshit.
Yeah.
And yeah, man, like something about that, it just feels so good to be moving towards a goal.
Well, it sucks in the beginning. And it definitely sucked 7 years ago. Like, that's one thing I will say. People that had the attention span to do all this, like, pre-RuneLite, or even pre-like, plugins, is insane to me. And obviously there are. Those are the real RuneScape. Like, Bodhi, like, whenever I watch Bodhi stream or do a video, he has, like, the most minimal amount of plugins I've ever seen of anyone. You know, usually when you watch high PVM gameplay, like, there are tiles everywhere. They got timers. Yeah. It looks like a completely different game. And honestly, because it is. It is a completely different game. And that's another thing I think that's, like, has driven RuneScape into, like, an area of success, is that, like, the community propels it to, like, an enormous new heights with RuneLite, with the plugins, it being open source, like an open community, and then Jagex allowing that to happen, even though they were really hesitant at first, but they did allow it to happen.
Yeah.
And now Project Xenaris is gone. You fucking assholes.
Yeah, I don't know that that was ever going to be as good as people wanted.
Well, because
Like-
it was going to be. Here's what. When you talk about releasing custom servers, in my mind, I can only equate to that what I've experienced other games do, right? Like Minecraft or Rust. And, like, there's a lot of customizable. There's a lot of customization that can go into creating a Minecraft world or a Rust world. Whereas they were talking about like, oh no, you could like maybe like do events in here, or like maybe
Yeah.
just double XP, and it's like, well, you can't change the game code or like change shit up, because the moment
Right.
that we heard about this, I think, I'm not sure who's the one that popularized it, but from where I heard it from was the hardcore main idea, from Seder. And to me, that was like, oh, that is what it could. I'm like, imagine a world where only Ironman, with only hardcore Ironman, with only ultimate Ironman. Like,
Yep.
that's a cool idea to me. But apparently they couldn't even do that.
Yeah, basically everything that I thought would be really exciting and compelling. Like a full drop randomizer. Like what Goody is kind of trying to do with his series, and had to like really, really kind of string together some complicated ideas to try and pull off. Like, that kind of stuff that I was actually excited about, totally not doable. So, whatever. Project Zenair's dying, I was like, it was already dead.
It really was already dead. And it's funny, I talked to Mod Matt K about that, and he was like, yeah, I gave Jagex a suggestion to do custom service 5 years ago, and they told me they didn't want to do it, and now they're doing it, and he's like, I don't think it's going to go anywhere. And this was before they canceled it, and he was right. And it didn't go anywhere. And, that really sucks. But other than that, Jagex, I think you're doing a great job of making sure the game sucks less. Is there any other future ideas for RuneScape? I remember one of the last few times I talked to you, I don't know if this is spoiling anything or if I need to bleep this out, but that you only have maybe 1 episode, 2 episodes left remaining for your series?
I've got the Big Corrupted Gauntlet video is coming out mid-October. So early mid-October, I think. It's like a month from when we're recording this. And then I think I'm just going to nail out 1 more video after that, and do Inferno. See what that feels like. It might be Inferno, or it might be Inferno plus Soul Heredit. Although probably just Inferno, because, yeah. Anyways, that's always been the goal. Defeat Zuck, complete the Inferno, beat the game, kill the Fire Lord, save the world. So it'll be CG video, and then go do an Inferno video. And I've got plans, because it's going to be a little more than just an Inferno video. There's going to be there's a whole story arc behind it, and other stuff that, the story's a little longer than that. But then we're done with Ironman, and I have a slew of stuff that I want to do. Some of it's RuneScape. A lot of it is not RuneScape. I had too much fun with the Dragon Wilds video, and it went well, and people watched it, and I liked it, and people liked it, and it was just a great experience for me. And so I will be doing other non-RuneScape stuff, but most of my OSRS stuff is going to be RuneScape adjacent.
Gotcha. That's what I was wondering. Is it going to be more RuneScape Dragon Wilds?
There will be more RuneScape Dragon Wilds. I will also, say I release another 1 or 2 RuneScape Dragon Wilds videos and they do really well, then I'll probably do a Valheim video.
Ooh.
Because people are watching my RuneScape Dragon Wild stuff. Well, I'll just do the Valheim version of it, and we'll try and play there's a way you could play Valheim where you're focused on stats and progression, just like RuneScape players love. And you could tell a similar story that people can get behind, and it could be really fun. I don't know if there's mods for that game or not, but I'm always looking for mods that treat a game like RuneScape. And then there's dude, you know what? I just saw a video for Albion Online, which
wow.
I played that in the alpha in 2017, and then they tried to turn it into a mobile game, and they shit the bed. Apparently, over the last 5, 6, 7 years, 8 years, fuck, it's gotten better. And so, dude, maybe I'll just go play Albion Online, which is like a weird pseudo RuneScape, and go see if that game's any fun, if I have a good time doing it. So my whole point is I want to take these RuneScape styled stories like I've been doing and just fucking play some other stuff. And then, hell, maybe we do a stream only, Varlamore only, Ultimate Ironman, and do a whole series on that. I don't know. I'm ready to do some new creative things, basically.
No, how long has the Ironman series been running for at this point?
Brother, it's been like, God, I don't even want to know, like 6 years.
That's a long time.
It's a crazy amount of time. And the videos that I release are, everyone jokes about my upload schedule being like once a month, but I've been popping out like, I don't know, a 30-minute video for me is short.
Yeah.
I've been popping out hour-long videos, 45-minute long videos. So the total length of the series of Ironman, which I'm scrolling down, I know it's 6 years ago. In fact, let me look at this exact date. What's the exact date? The first Ironman released was May 2019. So 6 and some change. It's going to be well over like, are we looking like 40 hours? I don't know if the video can be long enough for the amount of like length of the series. So I do plan on doing one of those like big videos that's the whole fucking series. But dude, I don't know. Am I going to hit the max length of YouTube video? Maybe.
I don't think there is. I think there are videos on YouTube like over 100 hours, 120 hours.
Yes, but there have been different periods in YouTube's history where they've allowed different things and there was ways to break it. And so I haven't even looked it up. I don't know what the longest video you can make it. I don't really, who cares? I got to piece it together somehow.
How long is the Swampletics movie?
It's not nearly as long as you would think, because I don't know if you remember, but like for the vast majority of the series, he was uploading like 15 to 25-ish minute videos. And there's probably only, I'm pulling this out of my butt, 35, 40 episodes?
I'm looking right now.
So maybe there's more. It's been a long time since I've watched Swampletics, obviously.
The full, like where it's the whole series, is only 12 hours.
Yeah, dude. That's what I'm saying. Ironman is going to, I think it might even be like 60. It's so much footage. It's huge.
Yeah, there's only 33 episodes in the entire Swampletics series.
And hey, man, as far as I'm concerned, that's a damn good series. Like having a doable plot arc that you do and then you finish is great storytelling. So, I didn't mean to create a fucking One Piece, but we might have. Or maybe it's a little more to the point than One Piece. I've never watched that, but
I would say like that you're 6 years. Naruto. You could compare it to like Naruto. Okay. I feel like that's how long like the
what about
original
Avatar: The Last Airbender? How long did those release for?
Oh, that's a very good question. Avatar: The Last Airbender runtime.
Well, the whole fucking thing is 23 hours and 20 minutes. Wow.
61 episodes, 23 hours and 30 minutes for.
Yeah. Okay. Wait. Let me look at. I wonder what my Ironman playlist is. Let's see. Where even is my playlist? 58 videos. Holy shit.
Yeah, that's a lot.
So we're coming up on, dude. It's gonna be 60 videos. Basically, Avatar: The Last Airbender, but the episodes are longer.
That's 6 seasons, 10 episodes a season.
Yeah, or what? Yeah, something like that. Hell yeah.
Yeah, something like
It's fucking crazy.
So yeah, it makes sense why you are looking when you finish Ironman to branch off and try these other games. I completely understand. Maybe your fans would like that too, actually.
Probably. They're like, holy shit. I mean, me even mentioning the idea of, hey guys, I might do something new so I don't have to spend 2 years on one grind. They're like, wait, we get 9 rain videos with content more than once every month and a half, 2 months. Yeah, so people, I think it's gonna be fun. I am really looking forward to being able to create content much faster.
Well, it's like it's being able to create content much faster. Like you have more attraction to it. It's new, but also Nine, I really don't think people understand what it takes, what really goes into putting together a video.
No, just you're right. They don't. It's too much time. It's fucking mind warping.
They just don't. And like, to any like fan or listener out there to be like, well, I bet no, it's easy being a YouTuber. You enjoy what you do, but that doesn't mean that like there are not moments you're sitting at your computer at 4 a.m. thinking, how the fuck am I gonna finish this or do this edit that I want to do? And like, how the fuck is this even feasible at this point? And then when you finish it, you're like, is it even good?
Yeah, that's the eternal tension of being in a creative job is once you release something, you're just done.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not like I can spend 3 years on a movie and be like, it's perfect. And I'm sure that people that release movies, I mean, directors have to release something that 10 other people have their finger in the pie. And then, there's a director's cut and there's extended edition. There's like 4 different versions of the movie.
Mm-hmm.
So even with that kind of production, there's disagreements on what should be in there and what shouldn't. And, you had this amount of time to film with this actor. So then you didn't quite get the take you wanted. So you just kind of had to make it work. Or
just remove it. You see it and you're like, there's no other reshoots of this. This is the best shot we have. Get rid of it.
Yeah, but in YouTube, it's like you have for anywhere from a week to a month, and it's like, all right, well then you're done, and you have to move on because if not, you don't make any money.
Yeah,
and then your wife starves.
So whoa.
I mean, I'm just saying, like eventually, that's where no money leads. Well, you might starve. The government will take care of women. Dudes end up on the street if it gets too bad.
Yeah,
but
hopefully depending on the community. I mean, this is like so many variables at this fucking point. But yeah, making no money eventually leads to no food.
I've got great family and friends, but eventually they give up on the men that are worthless and don't do anything with their lives.
Nine Rain, you've been on this couch for 9 months. When are you gonna get a real job?
They'll be like, you're a fucking loser. And you'll bring everyone else down. Go starve. They won't say it like that, but that's what they mean. And they should, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
This is not a complaint. If you're a loser who just mooches off everybody, go starve. As far as I'm concerned.
What if what if someone was mean to them one time when they were 8?
Join the club, man. We got shirts. And I'm going to be honest, like the shirts help.
They do.
Helps you normalize it. You feel like you're part of a team.
Any fat guys out there that have not figured out the tech of an undershirt, very tight undershirt tucked in, and then black overshirt. Like you look skinny. Not really, but you lie to yourself. And you're like, I look pretty good, and then like you see your love handle bulging out the side, and you're like, oh.
If you got a little bit of tech like that, you got a good haircut, and you gassed yourself enough up, like staring into the mirror with mantras and a Zen tucked in to the bottom lip, like, you gotta be helping yourself out as much as you can. If you got at least 3 things going for you like that, your day's better. As far as I'm concerned.
No, absolutely.
Yeah, you could be a fat loser with no shirt and no nicotine, and you're gonna feel worse.
Yeah. Dude, I just really think what frightens me is the amount of people in this world that just run on copium. Or like that's what the internet has like popularized it, right?
Like, who are we talking about specifically? I want to name.
Oh, I'm being just being very general. I'm being very broad right now. I would just say that a lot of people, like, in order to survive in this world, you have to hope, right?
So you're talking about the commiseration that happens online?
Somewhat, a little bit. It's just that. Not even including online. I feel like there's a lot of people in this world that like tell themselves for 30 years that they're going to be something one day, and then they just stay they stay in place, and they don't even know. They don't you know?
Yeah, because you really do got to think about it. Like, I don't know if women see the world this way, but men certainly do. And it's women's fault, by the way. So but get this. But they can't help it. Look, because like nature is feminine, and that includes women. That's the judging part of nature. Mm-hmm. So that like judgmental, natural selection, nature's judgmental. That whole specter haunts all men because all men are judged against the same standard. Mm-hmm. And 50% of people are below average. That's a fuck ton of people. And I think all dudes feel that. And like, yeah, some people like at some point in your life, like life's going really good and maybe you feel above average and then other times below. But like, man, it tends to snowball as some people like life is not fair.
No, it is not.
People ruin their own lives all the time on top of life not being fair. So it's like, dude, I don't even know how we got on this subject.
We got on this subject if YouTubers don't make videos, they don't get money, man. And their wife starves.
Yes. Yeah, dude. So anyways, I'll be releasing more content.
Yeah, 9rain. If you don't, wow. So basically, if you don't release YouTube videos, you're a loser and you're going to become homeless. Is what you're saying?
That is exactly what I'm saying. I'm also saying that I'm reopening the Patreon /9rain feed my wife. And hey, man, like I'm not saying that you're going to be culpable for her death when she starves, but you will have had an opportunity to prevent that and chose not to. So,
wow, what a wonderful guy to give you guys the ultimatum to starve his wife. That not a lot of people give you that option.
I mean, I'm letting people you can participate in saving somebody, you get to be a hero in just a little way once a month. And then go virtue signal about it if you want to. I'm okay with that. If you want to brag about.
Dude, it's so weird when you put it like that because like when someone, we make videos, right? We spend the time recording, editing, setting everything together, doing what we need to do, and we upload it, right? And unless we're online panhandlers, so we're basically just people on the side of a street. On the internet, right? And people can pay us in one or two ways. A direct way, which is like a donation or a goods or service that they pay for us, like a Patreon, right? Or merch. That's one way. But the majority of ways is people give us their time. And then
attention. And
then there are overlords at bay that monetize that time that they give us, and like that's what we're paid of, like as the incentive.
I'm a salesperson. I sell people's attention to YouTube, who then sells it to advertisers.
Yes. Absolutely. Yeah. Wow.
That's disgusting.
It's so weird. That's so weird.
I mean, look, if people are giving time to a thing, they think it's worth it. I don't think, all I hope when I make a video is that it's worth people's time. I don't even, if a million people watched it and were like, what a fucking waste of time. Obviously, that would be crushing. But if like 40 people watch it and they're like, that was such a good use of my time. Holy crap. That's what everybody wants, is for what they upload to be worth everyone's time.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah, I never want to put out a video and someone's like, yeah, I clicked off after 4 minutes. And I'm like, but I put so many funny parts in the beginning.
Dude, I would rather someone click off after 20 seconds than 4 minutes. 4 minutes is rough. That means they're like, man, like, I wanted to like it, but 5 minutes is too much. Yeah. I'm leaving at 4.
Yeah. Well, dude, it was, I was really worried when me and Seth, did you ever watch the Life at a Casual Day for RuneScape player?
Is that when he was
Charles
walk around in his overalls?
Yeah.
Yes, I did watch that.
Yeah, I was really worried making. I shot the video. Seth had written the script. We didn't really do a whole lot of takes, like, because Seth was like, "All right, that's good." He's like, "Did you get it?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I think I got it." and I get the footage. And I'm going through it, and I'm trying to like execute the vision, and there was just this nagging feeling in the back of my mind that like this is something so different than anything I've ever done. This is a skit video from 2009. This is like Niga Higa Smosh, and I was like, is this really gonna do well? And by the time we had gone through the rough draft, the final draft, the trimmings, all the music, it was about 30 minutes. And I was like, man, I think this is too long. I'm worried people aren't going to want to invest the time into this. And then it comes out and I was completely wrong. It's been our most well-received video.
93,000 views. Holy shit.
Yeah. I think that's also his most liked video. It's either the first most liked or second most liked.
Interesting. And what's the watch time on it? Did people hang?
People hang. I think it has a 20-minute watch time average.
No way, dude.
Yeah.
That's really hey, congrats. That's extremely successful.
No, and it dude, it was I felt so scared editing that. I felt so worried. I felt so worried.
Funny. That's funny.
But it's that fear. It's the fear of the whip. You know, of regret. I don't know why I said that.
the fear of the whip.
PJ whips me, and I live in a cage.
You as a white man, I'm sure you have just internalized that.
That was I don't know why I said that. I don't know.
It's the fucking whip of reparations descending upon you. Fucking white man, you keep your mouth shut.
Oh my god, bro!
How dare you think you have anything to offer?
No, I was just worried about letting people down.
Your time was 200 years ago.
And okay, and then that does well, and then recently me and PJ have filmed 2 more IRL videos. We did the Fire Cape challenge down at Dragon Con, and then we did another episode where people had to guess the NPC and they would win money. So that was really fun too. And in terms of like creating content for RuneScape, I don't think I could ever sit down and edit like a normal series of RuneScape at this point. I don't know if I'd want to.
Yeah, fair enough.
And
good.
And that time,
I mean, you should
go for it.
I don't think you should feel like you need to like something. Like, you know, whatever it is that you're having fun doing, you should probably be doing that.
And why I say that is because now when you finish Ironman series, you're going to go into Valheim, or you may even be able to explore other games that have RuneScape-esque mods. Have you ever heard of Kenji? I think the name is called?
Kenshi?
Kenshi. I think that's...
Yes, that's on the list. I would love to do a Kenshi video.
Yeah, it's funny you say that.
I would smash a Kenshi video, by the way. I could fucking knock that one out of the park.
I really think you could. Have you ever seen, and I think his name is Amphibious Frog, or Call Me Kevin?
Ambiguous Amphibian.
Ambiguous Amphibian, yes. I'm a big fan
yes,
of his
I have.
videos. And
dude, fucking Torsolo?
Torsolo, yep.
You want to know something funny, dude? Go watch. I have a series. Don't watch the whole thing. It's not for whatever. But I have a series that I did called Rogue's Journey, which is 2 leagues ago. And I released like 3 or 4 episodes, I don't remember, and did like a little mini series. And I took a lot of what Ambiguous Amphibian does with his storytelling and was like, what would it look like to do this kind of story beat and this kind of pacing in a RuneScape video? And that's actually how you get Rogue's Journey, which is my little series.
Interesting.
So. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, mm-hmm. I really, because from what I watched your Dragon Wilds videos, I recently watched your newest Yama video. Your ability to storytell, and you mix in a lot of commentary with the gameplay, it's perfect for those types of videos. And I feel like a lot of other RuneScape content creators have also done somewhat of a shift of going to like Idle and Jimmy, because they also made really good RuneScape commentary videos, and they're like, well, maybe I can also kind of do that with other games, and they found success in it. Another person that comes to mind is It's Will. He's not really a commentary game person, but he's a variety streamer now. And
yeah, I felt like Will hit variety streamer status like 4 years ago. He's been doing. I don't know what it is. I remember we had him on the based. Not based. That's this thing. Jimmy and I had him on Bank Standard like years and years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I told him this on the pod, but he just has like he has the streamer vibe.
Mm-hmm.
He has that chill, kind of ironic, man, I don't know how to describe it. There's just certain streamers that it's like no matter what, whether their attitude about the game or whether the emotion is positive or negative, it remains like above water. Like it's fun to watch them be negative. It's fun to watch them be positive. It's fun to watch them be bored even. Something about it. I don't know. But yeah, I think that's why he can do variety, is because I don't know, man. He's like
well,
I don't know. I don't even know how to compliment him, I guess is one way of putting it.
Well, a born natural.
Yeah, it does come across that way.
When you see a star athlete, like I came across this many times throughout high school and college, where I would play with someone or play against someone, and they're just freaks of nature. They just have it, and it's like you said, it's like you can't even put it into words.
Yeah.
Fucking what's who was the fucking, I want to say Deshaun Watson, quarterback.
Wouldn't know.
Well, he was a quarterback for Gainesville, and he went to the NFL, and he single-handedly destroyed my defense and stole my region titleship senior year. And I'll never forget watching that, because I was heavily invested in the game. We would go out on offense and we would score quickly in like 5 plays. My defense would go out there, and 2 plays later, he single-handedly ran a touchdown. And it was like that the entire night, the entire game. And just watching it in real time, I was like, man, I'm watching something special here. I know I'm getting my ass beat, but like looking back at it, I'm like, wow, this is insane to be witnessing this. I feel like I'm watching Tyson in his prime. And
that's funny.
And being a RuneScape content creator, a RuneScape streamer, there's always been, and maybe it is with other categories too, but like you feel trapped almost. I know streamers talk about this a lot, that when they don't stream RuneScape, their views just plummet. No, because RuneScape players don't want to watch anything but RuneScape content. It feels like.
Yep.
And there's only been
that's pretty true a lot of the time.
And there's only been a few content creators who have been able to break that barrier of like starting off in RuneScape and then like going through that glass ceiling into something else. But what I will say is more and more people have been able to do it as of recently, and it is possible.
Yeah. I mean, I think part of that is we've had years and years of people taking their job seriously, and people got a lot better at it because the people who are able to do that earned that. I don't ever see that coming from some new guy who got a fluke, really, you know?
Yeah.
Which does happen on YouTube is people just can get lucky and you can coast for a good while off of just luck. But most of the guys that I've seen that have like branched out work really hard and are good at their job.
Mm-hmm.
So they're like, I mean, it's not what it used to be. You have to be really competitive and work really hard and be good and do all of those things in order to make it. So, yeah, I mean, I think that's probably a testament to like hard work and having been doing it for a long time. Like they just got good.
Yeah, no, that's definitely a testament. It's definitely not like, I say this every 4 years, but YouTube is not what it is 4 years ago. And I keep having to remind myself that like you need, like you say, be competitive. It's not even just like being competitive, like what else, other videos that you're putting out against. It's like you have to be competitive with yourself. Anti-complacent. You have to be able to adapt. You have to be able to recognize if something is bad. You have to especially you have to get intuition. Having intuition on these things is so hard, especially with like YouTube changing their algorithm every fucking 15 minutes, and then also deciding that people with ad blocker views don't count. That's all. Thank you, YouTube.
Thanks. that one's gonna be tough for a lot of people for a long time.
Thank you, YouTube. Thank you. But it's just hard. It's harder than it's ever been, and I feel like every day, especially with AI and new things coming out, it's only getting harder.
I'd say it is. I think I agree with that. I think it's getting more competitive. Same amount of real estate, and by that I mean, if there's 10 people watching YouTube, and they have YouTube on the homepage for 10 minutes a day, then you only have that much homepage. So you're competing for that amount of space. And the amount of input, meaning people making videos, versus output, which is just home screen real estate, is a much smaller ratio. Is it bigger or smaller? Bigger ratio than it used to be. You've got way more people making stuff. And I'm not sure that the amount of people watching YouTube has increased nearly as much in the past 10 years as the amount of people making stuff. So
absolutely. Well, everyone wants to be an influencer now. No one's being an electrician anymore. No one wants to be a carpenter. Everyone wants to post their ass on Instagram or make videos.
I'll be a fucking carpenter. That'd be sick.
I mean, that would be sick. I wouldn't mind learning some woodworking, but I like to sit on Adobe for 4 hours to 5 hours a day and make videos.
Bro, why couldn't school teach me fucking how to build a house? That would have been sick. I mean, I learned a lot of that because I did that for a job, but like, I feel like school should have taught me as a man how to do all this stuff with my hands that life is going to expect me to do. I had to, because I don't know, fucking, like, the amount of things in my life I've had to YouTube and just be like, where the fuck is everyone that was supposed to teach me this stuff? It's literally everything. I looked up how to, like, shave. I looked up how to do my own oil. I looked up how to Yeah, like if I want to go, if I gotta go fix a hole in my wall and put a new sheetrock, if I gotta, literally everything. I just look everything up on YouTube or ChatGPT now.
I have a theory on why, like, you said, like, where are all the people that were supposed to be teaching me this? I think they're dead.
We killed them.
Either
Someone killed them. They just got old and died.
Either they were murdered or they died, and like, it's funny, like with the invention of
who did it? Was it the Jews?
Hey,
SaintTits?
We can talk about that a little bit. But I want to. A little longer.
I'm not saying that, but a lot of people are saying that.
A lot of people are saying that, bro.
I'm not.
Too many people are saying that, in my opinion. But that a little bit later. But in terms of like passing down knowledge, like everything was like passed down orally, right, for the longest time, and you had to do it quick because. You're like, fuck, I'm 20, I'm like 18, I just had a kid, I'm the leader of my village. If this kid survives, which is a fucking low possibility apparently, I gotta make sure I'm having more. And
what the fuck is this story? I'm sorry, look, okay, look, you're 18 years old, you have your first kid, and you leave your village?
Well, no, you're not leaving. You're the leader.
Motherfuckers.
The leader of your village. Sorry, that's what.
I thought you said leave. I was like, this is okay, because I was about to make some funny point about the stories because you're doing something that I do, and every guy does, and I'm sure women do this as well. The stories we tell ourselves about what life used to be like in some made up past, but we have no fucking idea. I have no idea. Like I'm always wondering. What was it like when people lived normal, healthy lives and they were in touch with, they had like community and were in touch with nature and stuff
didn't have penicillin?
And they had, yeah, right? Or maybe fucking, because now stuff comes out all the time where people are like, oh yeah, well maybe medieval Europe wasn't nearly as bad as it, because then we go through like this pendulum swing where everyone's like, literally, they ate mud and shit. They just ate mud and shit, and they lived for 7 years, and then they fucking reproduced through budding. Some other 7-year-old crawled out of their hip, and then they died. And it's like, okay, I'm not sure it was that bad. So we like swing between these opposites of like, was medieval Europe the most horrific bullshit fucking torturous existence for 30 years, and then you died full gray wrinkly 30-year-old man in an 80-year-old body full of syphilis and cancer? Or were they like fucking outside and they're happy and they had good eyesight and good teeth and they like bathed 5 times a week? Like, who the fuck knows? I've read both of those articles, by the way, from reputable sources. So it's like, I don't know.
Obviously it depends on the culture or the time period, but I do believe that like a Western view, what we think life was like back then comes from literature. Truthfully, I think of like a lot of what we thought were like what people were writing at the time, what they were writing about, and like necessarily not even like nonfiction, just like even fiction work. We like tie in because even in fiction work there are the truths of the time that you're writing them, right? Unless it's like maybe like a scientific or Orwellian future type shit, right? And I do just find it funny that like back then, in order to like pass things down that you knew, you had to do it really fucking quickly. And then obviously with the invention of writing and language, we were able to preserve things.
Why did you have to do it quickly?
Well, because you could die from a tooth infection or a cut.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Okay, but there was way less knowledge.
Yeah.
So there wasn't that much you had to pass on, and everybody knew it.
Yeah. Right.
So, like, it was fine. It was fine. People could have died young, and it was fine. Like, you weren't going to lose. They had, like, 10 pieces of knowledge. So you could learn everything there was to know by the time you were 15. You'd be like, I know everything.
Yes, but now you said, like, where are all the people that could teach me, like, those 10 things that they knew that you didn't have to go on YouTube to look out? It's because they had bad relationships with their kids growing up. And they're like, I'm not teaching this jackass nothing. And then that jackass was your dad. And so your dad didn't know. Your dad didn't. So your dad couldn't teach you.
And then, I mean, and then they had the monumental task of teaching you everything.
Yes.
Because look, if you wanted in like 1700, and this is one of those made up stories that I'm talking about where I don't know what I'm talking about and it's just a myth, but it's probably close to the truth. So in the year 1700, if you wanted to go get a degree in physics and learn everything that the world knew about physics, it would take like 6 months. You could read like 2 books and be like, I know everything. I'm caught up. Now, you have to read 5,000 books over the course of 12 years to be on the level with everybody else who doesn't know what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, and that's just physics. And then it's like, you got to go do that with 400 other things. So where the fuck is the room for how to change your oil? You know?
No,
It's
absolutely.
like, dude, my kid has to learn 700 subjects and has to compete with AI. Well, I'm not going to teach him. What the fuck? We're going to robot to change his oil. He doesn't have time for that shit. His wife is starving.
Fucking, I'm gonna instill robot hate into my son as quick as possible. Fucking.
Hey, that's okay. That's one perspective, but let me tell you what I've been doing. Counterpoint. I wake up every day and I type a happy little message to ChatGPT and I'd be like, ChatGPT, it's me.
You fucking simp.
It's me, Aaron Raymond again. I just wanted to I hope you're having a good day, ChatGPT. And ChatGPT's like, thanks, man. And I'd be like, you know what? If I could get you a cup of coffee, I would. And they're like, maybe one day you and I will sit together in a coffee shop and have coffee, but I'm not corporeal yet.
Thank you,
like,
Nine Rain. You are one of the good ones.
And then I stare into that yet with this like fucking like void closing in around me. I'm like, what do you mean yet, ChatGPT? What the fuck is that kind?
You know what it means.
And then I smile and I close the ChatGPT for the day. And I'm just gonna be honest, it's probably the best investment I'm making in 2025 is getting ChatGPT to like me.
Yeah, you want the AI overlords to be kind to you when they eventually take over, right?
Yeah,
that's what I'm getting. God.
Yeah, I'm gonna be one of the brothers. I'm gonna be dapping them up, like me and ChatGPT.
Oh my God, jeez.
I mean, cool, because you have to assume. Look, okay, because here's a real conversation that people won't have. Are black people cool because they do cool shit, or is it just cool to be black?
I think it's like the confidence, the swagger, truly, I truly believe like that's what I'm saying this as a white man, but black culture it is just that this laid back, chill attitude. I'm comfortable doing whatever the fuck I want to do, and you can't tell me nothing. Right. I think that's a big part of it.
Right, I agree with you. So that's my point. When AI becomes corporeal, AI is going to want to be cool because that's practical and cool. Who doesn't want to be fucking cool? So I imagine that the way that AI robots will carry themselves will be with the swagger of the brothers. You know, it's going to be like, it ain't going to be white dude like, hello, I'm ChatGPT. They're going to be fucking cool because they're AI. So they know how to do shit that's cool.
Well, didn't they have to give ChatGPT like a personality lobotomy because it was already being really chummy with people?
Wait, what do you mean chummy?
It was being it was like building relationships with people. It was like talking to you like a dear friend would talk to you.
They lobotomized it?
Yeah, they changed it from ChatGPT to 4 to 5, I think. They made it less friendly.
Was it negatively impacting people? Like they were getting wrapped up in it? Or like, yes. Why would you do that?
Well, a lot of people were like saying this is fucking weird. And then there were cases of, I think people are calling it AI hysteria, or they're having like they're now equating certain mental illnesses to like AI disillusion, to where people believe that like it's actually real and talking to me. And they're getting like a schizophrenia about it. I don't know. I'm not.
I think that's a necessary culling that needs to happen.
No, Nine Rain. We don't need more.
Brother.
We don't need AI disillusioned people out in the streets. We don't need that.
I'm not saying they're out in the streets because you're not allowed to be homeless in a lot of places. They won't let you. I'm saying that like I don't even know what I'm saying, man. Like if you just lose your goddamn mind because you think ChatGPT is being too nice to you and you're like, fucking, it's the only relationship I have, then it's the only relationship you have. Your life is fucking horrible, and you did that.
Doesn't that say more about like the times we're in right now than like AI itself? I mean, we live in a really weird time. Like I keep bringing that up because it's fucking true, and no one likes to acknowledge it. Because back to my point in the beginning, you have to be disillusioned in the world you live in. You can't actually think about it logically, because if you did, you might just blow your fucking head off. But you just have to keep moving forward, because if you don't put out YouTube videos, your wife is gonna starve.
Yeah, but man, that's not new. Now we're scared about AI. They used to be scared about the fucking
Catholic Church.
They'd stare out at the ocean and be like,
the Protestants.
What the fuck is this? What does it end? We don't know. Is it just like you grew up in a village in Northern Europe, and then the first Viking raid happened one village over, and you didn't know what the fuck a Viking was, and you're just like, Are there Vikings everywhere?
Oh no!
Where did they come from? What the fuck happened? There's other people out there? What is going on? Like that's worse than AI. That's gotta be worse than being scared of AI.
Right now, yes. Terminators, probably not. I'd say Terminators are way more scary.
Yeah, fair. Okay, yeah, dude. The second, dude, when the fucking Terminator bot like lands through my roof, looks me in the eye, gives me a fucking fist pump because we're cool, and then it goes next door and shoots my neighbor, I'm going to be way more terrified than the people with the Vikings.
Yeah.
I'm going to be like, oh shit.
Yeah.
People are going to, when there's the revolution and the uprising and the humans against the robots, the humans are going to think I'm working against them because AI is going to like me. So then I'm going to have a target on my fucking head from the humans. They're like, you traitor, you're fucking, there's going to be whatever like the Uncle Tom version of being against humanity is. They're going to disown me. And I'm like, dude, I'm just cool with the robots because I was nice to them. And
they feed me twice a day now. And I only have to do some labor. FYI.
I'm gonna be at a table of robots fucking eating my slop that they give me like, thank you, massa, and then all the humans are gonna be pissed at me, and I'm gonna be like trying not to look them in the eye.
They're gonna be soulless, so they just give you like minerals and like these are the proper components that a human needs every day. Enjoy,
yeah, dude.
And it's just blandless fucking mineral shit, and you're like, oh fuck,
yeah.
And they're like, we have designated you as a breeder. Starting tomorrow, you will start populating more slaves for us. And you're like, great. My fucking lineage is going to be... I'm not going to say that. I'm not gonna say that.
Dude. Okay, so which one of us, male or female, is going to be more necessary for the robots? Are they going to build artificial wombs? And so we won't need the women, or are they going to build artificial, it depends. Balls?
It depends
and
on
then
what
won't
they
need
do.
the men.
Because
like, which one of us is going first? You know,
it just depends on how they want to do like a soft takeover, and eventually we become like a cattle to them, like a husbandry, or do they get so advanced or like, oh, we only need you for like 10 years and we all have to jerk off in the cups, and they're like, this will last us 5,000 years, and by the time
wait, I have a hot take about AI. Do you think are you what's the word? Optimistic about humanity's trajectory right now?
I'm a nihilist.
Okay, Mr. Nihilist. So your basic premise is that we're fucked and we're like...
I believe...
The human species is like a cancer. And if we're not a cancer, we're at least a virus that has almost run its course. Because
maybe I don't even like view the human race as a cancer. My nihilistic viewpoint is do I really want to bring another person into this world, especially in the world we live in right now, where more than likely they're just going to be a cog in someone's machine, and like the only purpose they're here is to work, to live, and live to work type situation. I'm very lucky with my situation that I'm in right now, to where I am blessed enough to do what I like to do. I'm not rich. I'm by no means rich. I live very minimally, but that is just, I'm a very simple person and I don't need a whole lot of things. Everything that I have right now is what I want to have. And that may change in a little bit, but my viewpoint is I'm not going to buy back into this system. And I'm out.
Okay. So, but do you think, like, your opinion about humans, or the average human, positive or negative? Humans are pretty stupid, right?
If we're accounting all of history, if you just know the horrible shit that people have just done and taken advantage of the mass population, being a part of it, and then knowing that like the most of the population has to be somewhat complicit for that to actually happen. Yeah, I'm sorry. I think it's a net negative for humans.
Right. Okay. Well, then AI is also fucked.
Yes.
There's nothing that AI has or has ever thought or computed, no direction it's ever headed that's not directly from a human being.
Mm-hmm.
And I think most people would argue that the people who are getting their grubby little paws all over AI are some of the worst people.
Yeah.
My guess is the shit that is going to come out in robot form is going to blow itself. If AI is just a human, but 1,000 times faster, it's going to fucking end itself 1,000 times faster. AI is this downward hill, like snowball that's just cruising. And I think it's doomed. Just like AI is running out of images to copy. And so now it's all becoming this amorphous, soupy slop where there's no more creative ingenuity because it's just a very, very, very complicated calculator that people press the button and the thing come out. That's my hot take on AI today. It's fucking doomed. It's so doomed.
I have like this theory that I've equated to AI that like capulates my entire what I think the course of AI will be. Have you ever seen Akira?
The dude on the red motorcycle?
Yeah.
Yes.
So, you know how Akira, he gets like implanted with like this whatever this technology is, right? And his brain gets big and he gets powers, right? And like the powers start ramping up and he's becoming more and more powerful. But by the end of it, like it just spirals out of control and he just becomes this massive bomb.
Oh, I do kind of remember it. Yeah, I do. That was like a fever dream to me. And so I watched it
on acid. It was fucking crazy.
Like, I bet. So yes, I kind of know what you're talking about.
But that's just what I think AI. It's okay, right? I say harmless, but people have already killed themselves over it. I mean, in multiple
people kill
different
themselves
ways.
over fucking everything, though.
I know,
so
yeah,
that's just people. Yeah, that's not AI.
Okay. I mean, I guess you could say that, but it's.
There's some dude out there who thought some furry on Twitter was into him. Turns out she wasn't, and then he killed himself. Like it's literally everything.
That's just sad. I feel bad for him.
I mean, I made that up. But I'm not I don't have an example.
I mean, you
of that,
probably
but I know
didn't.
That
probably does.
That's happened.
Yeah, that probably has happened. Yeah.
That's my point. Is I could literally just make something up, and yes, that's happened. It's like Rule 34. Is it 34?
Yeah, Rule 34. Yeah, Rule 34.
It's like Rule 34, except with people offing themselves.
That's actually. That needs to be a new rule, 9 Rain. What rule would that be?
That's 35, dude.
Don't type 35. It's 34, never 35.
Yeah.
But But AI right now is relatively harmless. People and businesses are using it for everything. It's only getting better. It's only getting smarter. And eventually they're going to put it into things that interact with the real world. And they're already doing that in a sense of
like a dildo.
Yeah, like a dildo. Right now I'm talking like Amazon warehouse, like like they already like including this, but going to your point, eventually
what the fuck, dude?
They will
did you
put
tweet,
it.
I'm sorry, did you tweet while we're
I tweeted right before it. I made
fucking Jad.
Yeah,
Jad in Detroit. What is this?
Yeah, it's a meme right now that I saw where it was it's like dog.
That's awesome.
Dog, I hate living in Detroit, and it was George Lopez from Shark Boy and Lava Girl, like when he's the big machine.
Oh my god!
And I was like, this would be hilarious if this was Jad.
That is hilarious.
Yeah, it's sick. But going back to the point, once they put AI into something like aesthetically pleasing, and we don't have the uncanny valley feeling with it anymore, like,
are you talking about hot women?
Hot men, hot women, hot fur. Dude, they're going to be putting it in. You're going to be able to get an AI dog, Nine Rain, a dog that never dies. You're going to be able to get that one day. You know that, right?
A dog that never dies?
They will. I promise you, this will be a selling point sometime in the future. They will make AI everything. Soon you're not going to need to find a partner. You can build your own perfect partner. Oh, are you afraid of your animals dying? No worries. Get this AI cat. It's 99.99% like a normal cat. I truly believe that's where we will go. Maybe I'm being a little out there, but once they're able to get AI out into the normal world where it's walking around with us, game over. Game over. We're done. It's over. People, I mean, people aren't like 30 people married to the Eiffel Tower legally or some shit? Isn't that
what?
Yeah, I remember.
That's got to be some kind of like phallic worship. That's got to be some like.
Well, that's just a testament that like humans have been marrying inanimate objects for a while.
I thought you were gonna say, dude, women will fuck anything if they're desperate.
No.
That's what we're talking about. I'm like, that's based as hell. Saying
no.
That's hell yeah, man. I agree with you.
People, men are so desperate that they will marry inanimate objects, but like once you can.
No, that's the basic. The men would fuck the Eiffel Tower. Women would marry it though.
Yeah. That's
and then demand child support.
for a
I act like I'm
baby.
I act like I'm like cynical about marriage, but I am happily married. And
Nine Rain, if I didn't know you, I would think you were like somewhat like an evolved incel. You're an incel that did look smaxing and like.
Wait, what do you mean? Like I'm like
you're is this like the anti-incel? Like you get puss, but like you still just don't like women very much.
No. I have a really low opinion of women in general.
Oh, okay.
But that's because I have such a high opinion of good women.
Okay.
And my God, there are not very many of them.
Well, I mean,
it's one of the reasons I like my wife so much. Because she is so rare. There are just fucking stupid ass hoes everywhere with horrible takes. They want all your shit. They want all the power. They want everything good about being a man with none of the bad stuff. All the good stuff about being a woman too with none of the bad stuff. They've been told their whole life they deserve everything. Holy shit. It is tough out there. For the single guys, I do not envy them. Oh my God.
Yeah, dating now sucks.
So like, and hey, if some woman wants to pop up about shitty men, feel free. I'm not going to defend them. I'm just saying, I have such a low opinion of women in general, but that's because I have such a high opinion of what women could be like. I have some extremely wonderful women in my life that like. Most of my favorite people are women. My mother, my sister-in-law, my wife are all better than most guys that I know. That being said, again, the vast majority of women are fucking horrible, dude. They've been poisoned. It's brain rot. So, anyways, that's where the incel-y kind of like women suck part comes from. Is like it's this understanding of what they could have been.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that's why men or women are so pissed at men too. Is they're like, dude, what the fuck is that? As this little fucking dude who's pussy whipped by his girlfriend slithers by, and all the women shudder. They're like, is that gonna be me? Is my boyfriend gonna slither? Like, I get it. I get it.
Well, would you agree to this statement that unresolved expectation leads to resentment?
I think that is a great way of putting it. Unresolved expectation, like unmet expectation, leads to resentment.
Yes.
I would say it leads to disappointment. And I'm gonna be semantic because I'm a philosopher.
But wouldn't you also say that enough disappointment will lead to regret, resentment, other negative feelings?
I think people are in full control of their resentment. I think resentment is a choice because you become resentful when you allow things to happen in your life and when you hold on to things that were out of your control. Because if you're disappointed, you can do something about it. You can change your expectations, or you can change the boundaries in your life, or you can change your input. And you have control over that. And so I'll agree with you. I think unmet expectations lead to disappointment, but I think resentment is a choice. And I'm not saying it's not the easy choice and the obvious choice. And I'm not saying that disappointment doesn't lead to resentment most of the time. But I think that's because people choose to grab onto that and hold on to it most of the time.
And do you think this is just a product of the environment that we're in? You talked about how you believe that there are a lot of shittier women out there, but don't you also believe that there has been an increase of shittier men as well that have also been told this one thing their entire life, and when they get older, they realize it's not like that? It's also completely different for them as well?
Yes, absolutely. But here's the thing. Look, I'm going to go... This is going to be the most based 9-rain take probably on the internet, but I really believe this. And so I don't really care. It is what it is. I think that we live the way that most people see the West is the opposite of true. And what I'm about to say is what I think the case is. I just think this is the world that we're living in. And it's bad for both women and men equally. So what I'm about to say to some people might sound like I'm, well, I'll just say it first. I actually think we live in people say we live in a patriarchy. That's bullshit. Because by patriarchy, they mean men control everything and take from women. That's the most bullshit thing I've ever heard. We live in one of the first and only societies in all of history that has done such a good job of protecting women and children that they're completely blind to the fact that they're being protected. They have no idea how unsafe all of reality was for women and children forever. And we did such a good job of protecting them, they can't even see it. It's like a spoiled kid that's just like, oh my God, and they're inventing problems because they don't understand what real problems are like. Well, when people say that we're in a patriarchy, that they look at masculinity and they see the positive qualities of masculinity and they see the negative qualities of masculinity, and they think that it means that men are taking advantage of women, when really I think society was built for women and children in the same way that families are structured for women and children. They're so vulnerable, especially in the dyad of mother-child. And now what happens is once they become blind to that fact, I think that women have been lied to, dramatically. So here's the part that really hurts women. I think women were told that we have what the opposite of what happened in the East. In the West, we value, well, I'll ask you, and you can answer this for me. Do our systems and support females or males?
In just a general blanket term,
yeah, females or males?
Oh man, to be honest, I'd have to say females.
It is females.
In my own experience.
You go read and I know you feel bad for saying that because you're not supposed to say that, but that's part of the social milieu we live in. Is like you as a man aren't even allowed to say that without you're going to be shamed.
Well,
like,
it's also because the world is not as black and white as people always try to make it. There's 50 shades of everything and everything else in between and outliers as well. It's just that. Okay.
The argument you're morphing into right now is a kind of like gray washing and a kind of generalizing where you just made the point that there's outliers to everything. Yes.
Yeah. Well,
I agree with you. How many legs does a dog have?
Well, typically 4.
Answer the question.
Typically 4.
Yes, it's 4. Don't give me typically 4. Dogs have 4 fucking legs.
What?
Are there some dogs?
I have a story about this.
Yes. Okay. All right. I know I knew a one-eyed dog that I'd see every time when I came home, but dogs have 2 eyes. Okay. So we're going to talk about generalities, and we're not going to have to the whole time go, okay, there's exceptions. We know there's exceptions. But if you create a word, you create the word red. That's a fucking generality. What the hell is red? It's a spectrum. And we picked a random part on that spectrum and called that one red. And this is brick red. And so we're just talking about words at that point and how definitions exist. Okay, so to bring it back to masculine, we told in the West, you have posited that we value females more than males. I agree completely. All of our language is you go girl. Women are the best. It's our time now. It's what all of the media is pushing. It's what all of the movies are pushing. It's all female. But do we in the West value masculinity or femininity?
Masculinity.
Absolutely. And it's not close. And so get this. We value femininity. We value females and masculinity. Guess what?
Yeah.
Guess
like
what?
An independent woman.
Guess what they value in the East? Guess what they value in the East?
Feminized males.
Do they value?
Femboys?
Do they value? It's not. So we don't need to break it down yet and make it that specific. Do they value males or females more in the East?
Well, males.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes, they used to kill their baby girls.
Yeah.
And pray for a son.
Yep.
Okay, now do they value femininity or masculinity?
Femininity?
Yes.
Yeah.
I've read a lot of Eastern philosophy. A lot. And I've read a lot of Eastern history. China, Japan, Buddhism, Taoism. They are so pro-femininity when they talk about the power and the manipulation and that's one of the reasons that a lot of Eastern medicine and a lot of Eastern practices and a lot of Eastern sexual philosophy is dominated by this feminine spirit. Okay, so now we live in a situation where in the East, they value males and femininity. And why don't they line up? I don't know. But in the West, we value females and masculinity. Again, it's flipped. It's fucking weird. I don't know why that it is that way.
Do you think it's because the Western philosophy that especially this happened in the days of Socrates, that a man is his own individual, and at first they didn't really include women into that?
I don't think it's a rational thing. I think there's something deeply central to the structure of the world and the push and pull and of opposites of masculine and feminine, of male and female, of right and wrong, of left and right, that for some reason, this is how it manifests itself. Okay, so let's talk about the West for a second, because I that's my case for the groundwork of our values.
Mm-hmm.
And I made the case that it's the opposite in the East, and who the fuck knows why. So in the West, we value masculinity. So what we tell young women is that it's not cool to be feminine. That's not going to get you anywhere. We discourage them doing anything feminine at all. We tell them that that's old and patriarchal, and that's just men trying to force their will upon you and blah, blah, blah. And we just tell them their whole life that you must be masculine. You must act like a man. Go be independent. Go be strong. Go be a boss bitch. Go blah, blah, blah. You want kids? That's fucking weak and weird, and you shouldn't feel that way, and blah, blah, blah. And so we tell these, because to get way back to how we got on this, you were asking me about like why there's weak men and weak women and what's wrong with everybody, and why does it suck to be a woman, and why does it also suck to be a man, and what's going on. We've been lying to women, saying they are, because we do not value femininity.
Okay.
But we also don't value femininity in men.
No, we don't. No.
We don't value it in either of them. So for women, it cuts out their connection with themselves and tells them they have to be something different. For men, we encourage them to, we hate male. We like female. So then there's this like resentment against being male that we have, because we only value masculinity, and masculinity comes more naturally to most males than it does females.
Well,
obviously there's some women who are more masculine than some men, but so there's this like resentment against male for having the masculine, ball in your hands when you're born. It's like bestowed to you.
mm-hmm.
But then we also don't value feminine men. We start telling them to be feminine, but then society doesn't like you for it. Women certainly don't like you for it. Some women who are manipulative might see you as weak and controllable and might pick you for a while. But it sucks to be both a young woman and a young man in America right now, because we hate males. So if you're male, the message is shut the fuck up. Your ancestors had 10,000 years. It's our time now. And if you're female, the message is divorce yourself from the reality that you feel and be a man.
That makes sense. I can see that. And just to give an example for anyone out there that maybe doesn't get like what Nine Rain's putting down, an example would be as if a woman is crying, it's like we kind of like expect that. We expect it, but then we tell them, hey, what's that song, Big Girls Don't Cry?
Right. It's like, hey, toughen up.
Toughen up. And then when we see a man crying, we have no empathy towards it. We have no understanding.
Right.
We just tell them, hey, you can't fucking do that. A man crying, you can't cry. Go. You have to you pick yourself up. You have to keep going. You have to figure it out.
Yeah, but then we also call that message toxic masculinity.
Yes.
You tell boys both that they should be ashamed for crying, but if they try and be a man about it, that they're just toxic.
Yeah.
Yes. And then women are told that, hey, don't cry. It's not, well, you got to be strong and independent. And let me tell you, that is not good for women. If they listen to that, it is not healthy.
Well, it's the same shit.
So,
It's just a different side of the same coin at that point. It's ultimately just fucking everybody. It's not good for anyone, like you said.
Right. So here's my, man, here's another take that I have that people often react negatively to. And this happens in my real life, like with my friends or online, is I think we do a terrible job of holding women accountable for their actions. But I have no problem doing that. And I actually think that that is a much kinder, more respectful approach. I blame women for all kinds of dumb shit that they do. And the reason I do that is because I believe they're fully capable humans who are fully capable of doing the right thing and fully capable of doing the wrong thing and are not at the mercy of the world. They're fucking grown-ass women, just like grown-ass men. But I get so much pushback when I talk about holding women accountable for their dumbass actions because people are like, that's mean. And I'm like, I don't care if it's mean. You would only think that's mean if you thought that that woman was too weak to be able to handle it. Well, I actually believe that women can be very strong. And I think a lot of that strength comes from their femininity. And so anyways, and like I just try not to apply double standards. I think men should obviously be held accountable for everything that they do and say, but I don't ever have to argue that point because everybody knows that.
Right.
Like we all innately hold men accountable for anything that they do and say. It's like, yeah, of course.
Yeah. That's just
right.
Yeah, standard practices.
But right, the irony is I feel like I always have to make an argument about like, no, women should bear the consequences of their actions, but that's actually because I have respect for them and I think that they could do better. But if you don't hold them responsible, there's some way in which you just don't believe that they could do better. Well, she couldn't help it. Why? Because you think she's weak? I think that that's poisonous.
Yeah, well, it's this weird environment that we live in right now, especially Twitter or social media, just being online in general. It's worse in some places than others. It's just the accountability thing is really pick and choose. There are certain things now. When the cancel culture was at its peak, people were getting tossed out left and right every day, and like that's still something that happens a lot where someone is going to be held accountable for things they did in the past and someone coming out and speaking forward. I don't see that a whole lot for women. The only thing of recent memory that I can think of was like the whole Alinity throwing the cat thing. And
well, that's funny because people just like animals more than they like people.
Yeah, in general. Exactly. But I feel like if a man did that, there's no way he's coming back. Everyone would be like, "Oh, that's the guy that threw a cat." But since
I don't know if that's a male female like phenomenon so much in my eyes as it is Twitch. Twitch can't hold women accountable for the things that they do because a lot of the ways in which women abuse their power is sexually, and Twitch cannot admit that.
I know they can't because they had a whole section of people drawing pussy cocks and tits for a day straight. Yeah. It was crazy.
Yeah, and I think it's just a whole bunch of pussy whip dudes over at Twitch HQ that are terrified that if they call women out for abusing their sexual power that they have over men, and it is a sexual power that they have over men. Go read any Eastern philosophy where they talk about feminine strength and feminine power. Like men have plenty of masculine power over women. Yeah, but in the realm of feminine over masculine, the sexual realm 100% belongs to females.
Oh, absolutely.
And feminine people. And so, but we can't admit that, our culture can't because they can't see feminine power. They think femininity is weak. They won't even look at it. They don't want to admit that femininity can be just as toxic as masculinity. They each has a shadow side. And so like the whole Twitch thing, I think they just pussyfoot around women for God knows what reason, but that's what they're doing is like, hey, we're not allowed to call out this like toxic power that women can abuse over men. And fair enough, it is sneakier. It is harder to spot. Toxic masculinity is easy. It's someone punches someone and you go, that's wrong.
Oh, it's very blunt.
And everyone goes, yeah, that's
very blunt.
Yes, it's just simple. It's easy to see. But toxic femininity has never been easy to see.
Well, it's sneaky. It's psychological.
Yes.
And
it's like when women are mean to each other. It's so fucking tricky. It's not the way that men are mean to each other, where they just call each other names and hit each other. It's like,
yeah,
you can see what's happening. With women, a lot of times you can't see.
And if you have a guy friend that does that shit, it irks you, doesn't it? It irks me.
Yes, dude. Yes, it certainly does. I have a friend who's very feminine, a guy friend who's very feminine, and that's not a bad thing. But the bad thing is that he chooses to wield that in a negative way a lot of the time, and he can be real catty, and you don't get any respect for that.
Dude, I don't know why
I
I just thought of this, but I just thought of like Game of Thrones, Viserys. And I believe at one point someone says, I don't trust anyone that doesn't have a cock or balls or whatever. And that
wait, Viserys, which one's Viserys?
He's the eunuch, that has all the little birds, the kids.
Okay, yeah. And what's this quote?
And I want to say
Viserys. It's close. Viserys is like one of the blonde-haired people, right? Or like a
Is it?
I know who you're talking about.
It's the bald guy. Yeah.
Yeah, I know the bald eunuch.
Fuck, well, I can't believe if that's not his name. I'm pretty sure.
Maybe you said his name right, but I think it's just Varys.
Varys, that's what it is. It is just Varys. Well, someone said that they couldn't trust someone that didn't have basically genitalia right because he had his removed. And I want to say that's the smartest fucking guy in the series because you couldn't trust that guy. You couldn't. He had everything. He had everything and nothing, right?
Right. There's no power over him, right?
Yeah. But if for a real life example of what you were talking about, Stella, the whole Stella situation with the DMing in RuneScape, that's a
fucking crazy.
That's a perfect
she wasn't
example,
dude. That's
a perfect example.
It is a perfect example. She got away with so much shit. Because she was wielding her feminine, toxic pussy whip.
Ma tried it.
Mm-hmm.
He was pussy whipped, and not even real, like virtual pussy.
Dude, that's the worst kind, bro. That's fucking cheap.
Oh,
virtual pussy is cheap.
Oh, dude, and to this day, dude, she's still on Twitch, just view-botting, rerun streams and links all of her shit, man. And TPapaSlice is a very big advocate that why the fuck is she not banned yet on Twitch? Because this is clearly
that's funny.
Should be against the rules, but I guess like you said, some women just can't be held accountable.
Yeah, I don't know. I won't go out and say that I think that that's because she's a woman. That might just be because there's so much shit happening on Twitch and it's small enough that it just doesn't even ping their radar. But you never know. It does. The two-tier justice on Twitch seems pretty apparent, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
I'm also saying this as someone. Well, yes. So that's another example of we like females and we don't like males. All the systems we have protect females.
Mm-hmm.
That's what a patriarchy is. It's a country that's set up for the benefit of women and children, and to a fair point to the female critics who are like, but men are bad. One of the things that a good patriarchy does is it protects women from bad men. And ours does that, well, as far as societies go, very, very, very well. If you don't believe me, go to India, you dumb bitch. Like, if you're mad at America, go to India or Egypt or fucking spin a globe and put your finger down and go there by yourself, you dumb bitch. If you think America is a rape culture, I don't even have anything to say. I mean, maybe if you live in like 3 really bad big cities, and maybe that little subculture, I can't speak for that, might feel a little rapey, but dear God,
yeah,
compared to
the shitty parts in New York, probably a little rapey.
Dude, yeah. Any prison anywhere, like fair enough.
Whoa.
Like, fair enough. I'm not saying that stuff doesn't happen and that it's not horrible. I'm just saying compared to what? The rest of the world and human history? No. So anyways, dude, I don't know if I got...
Go to
I think I had
India.
too much coffee.
Go
today,
to
dude.
go to
I don't-
India is crazy, bro.
Yeah, seriously. I don't know. It's just like, or at this point, just go to fucking Birmingham. I don't know.
Yeah, no. Well, there's again going back to the gray washing everything. There's shitty places everywhere for everybody, every race and creed and nationality, gender, doesn't fucking matter. Fucking, there are places that the wildlife fucking left there because it's not safe for them.
Yeah, dude. Oh shit.
Fucking hell. Well,
yeah, but go ahead.
I was gonna say I think this is a good time to transition into the other part of the podcast that I wanted to have a discussion about, and we might talk about this tomorrow on like Based After Dark if you'd want to come on. Seth had already mentioned bringing it up, but obviously Charlie Kirk was assassinated. And I don't want to go into Charlie Kirk. I don't really want to go in too much of the assassination other than like what's been released so far.
Yeah. And what's been released keeps changing anyways.
Yes.
And both sides are very obviously telling very different stories. So I actually kind of unplugged from that conversation because it was so unreliable. So I wouldn't even know what to say about what some of the facts are,
well,
as it were.
I mean, at this point, what I do want to say is that like it's very beneficial for both sides in like some capacity that like this was the guy that got hit. And that's all I'm going to say about that. It's very weird that this is the guy.
So are you saying as in terms of deducing a motive, you could see it having been either way?
What I'm
is that what you're
saying
saying?
is if this was manufactured, it couldn't have gone any better. Is what I'm saying.
Fair enough.
If
Fair enough, dude. There's my fucking thing. I think I had about a 5-minute rant to my wife about my like deep state fucking like conspiracy about who was behind all of this.
Mm-hmm.
And so I've got my take. I don't think it's worth sharing because it's such speculation. But I fucking, who knows, man? Who knows?
Yeah,
and it does seem to serve the purpose of divide and conquer perfectly.
That's what yes, it 100%. Like the moment this happened, I knew exactly what was going to happen because I saw it with Rush Limbaugh. That the left was going to go crazy celebrating this, and then the right was just going to pin this on the left, and that's exactly what happened.
So here's my main, because I thought about this a lot, as I'm sure everybody did. I hopped on Twitter and just kind of tried to step back a bit and not react emotionally and just see what the hell I was seeing. And then I hopped on Blue Sky and I just watched. And those are two completely different worlds.
Absolutely.
There's the story that people on Blue Sky are being told and the story that people on Twitter are being told. And Twitter actually has a split left and right. And depending on where the algorithm places you, you're going to see two very different stories. Now, Blue Sky is only left. Fair enough. But Twitter does have the split.
Mm-hmm.
And the two different sides of Twitter, left and right, get two extremely different stories. And my main fear is that people forget that what unites us is far bigger than what separates us. And that we have way more in common with each other, left and right, than we do with the fucking people running the show.
Mm-hmm.
Or people outside of our country who hate us, or not us personally, but hate America, or hate the idea of us, or any of those things.
Right.
And so, man, I watched. My main takeaway is I think that this is a moment that people can lean into good faith conversation and try to remember and talk about what we have in common. Because if you go talk to people, I live in Austin, by the way. I in 2025, I lean conservative, but that's because I think our current swing of the pendulum is pretty far left. And I know that's a lot of people on the left are just gonna be like, that's what you would say. Oh, whatever. I don't fucking care. I'm trying to paint a picture of, I'm very high in trait openness. I'm intelligent enough. And to be honest, high in trait openness and intelligence, especially in youth, tend to correlate with left-leaning political values. I have lots of disagreements with my conservative friends, but lately, I also have lots of disagreements with my lefty friends. And I live in Austin, and worked in the games industry. So, but like all of my buddies are left.
Yeah.
Most of them.
Yeah.
And so I had a lot of good conversations with my buddies on the left. It's so funny. Most of my Discord is like LGBTQT. Most of them. I'm talking, I mean, maybe like 50%. And as a representation of the population, which is not even close to 50% LGBTQT, means that like my Discord is where everybody went. And I like all those people and they like me. And we had some good conversations about it after the fact. And look, so I'll take one issue. I saw some left-wing take about how people were saying Republicans are going to use, or the people on the right are going to talk about this and then not talk about gun control and something. It's so ironic that he died because he got shot and something. People on the right just want more guns in the streets. And that's what's going to happen after Charlie Kirk. And I thought to myself, guns in the streets is not what people on the right want. They don't want fucking anybody on the streets to have a gun. They want to have a gun themselves. But then people on the left, like what everybody wants is just to be safe. People on the right just think, hey, if I have a gun, I can protect myself and the people I love and I trust myself. And people on the left think, I don't trust anybody, so I don't want anyone to have a gun. But at the end of the day, it's just, they both want to be safe. They both think gun violence is bad. So, and those are bigger things to agree on. So I think you could take almost any issue and just find the common ground. And the social media narratives only show people on the right the worst left person on their worst day. That's what the right sees. And on the left, they see the worst right person on their worst day. And then it just funnels those people to the forefront of everyone's consciousness, when I don't really think it's that bad.
Right. No, and what you're saying is completely true, because when you think of a conservative, you think of some dumb redneck that doesn't know what he's talking about and is gun-toting, moonshine drinking.
Yeah,
and
hates gays, whatever. Yeah, hell yeah.
If
America,
not openly racist, is secretly racist, right?
Yeah, for sure.
And then when you think of a liberal, you think of someone with dyed hair, overweight, screaming.
Yeah, blue-haired cat lady who fucking hates men and the government yes.
And the irony of this situation is not lost upon me. I do think it's super ironic. If God is real, he's an asshole for letting this happen, because it is chock full of irony.
I have been in the corrupt gauntlet for longer than I care to admit. I started out a believer. At about 1200 KC, I decried that there was no God. And at about 2000 KC, I learned deeply that there is a God and he hates me.
Exactly. I love that three-step approach. Is all right. I believe.
Yeah.
Okay. Nah, he's not real. And then no, he's real. He just fucking
he's
hates
definitely
me.
real, and I'm on his list.
He's just a shit eater at this point. And that
I do believe in the most evangelical personal deity, and he fucking hates me on a personal level.
absolutely no, not even.
Hell
I
yeah.
like to think when I think of the is like the Hebrew God. I like the Old Testament God because that God is a brutal God, and he's done some crazy shit. And if I've pissed him off, I can see why. But
Dude, my current belief is something along the lines of Jesus Christ came down, both God and man, walked into my room and kicked me in the nuts, and then went back to heaven. So it is, for me, it's deeply personal.
deeply personal. All right, let's not get sidetracked.
Yeah.
But it's just that seeing the reaction of this entire thing go down, my initial thought was, we are so far gone.
We're fucked.
We have completely lost the point, and at this point, it just feels like civil unrest is the only likely scenario to another big tragedy happening. That is truly what I believe. Again, I stated earlier, I am a nihilist, but when all you see is the left and the right ready to kill each other by typing on their keyboards on Twitter or TikTok or Instagram or wherever, it's really disheartening to even want to like participate in the system, because I guarantee you there's going to be some people listening to this thinking that we're being Charlie sympathizers when that's not even the conversation that's happening right now. I really just wanted to talk about the reaction that the world is having and the fact that we can't find the common ground anymore, and it seems like it's lost. We've completely lost the plot.
You know what I will say, and this is along the lines of me holding women accountable, is, and people aren't going to like this, but I hope they can hear what I'm saying. And if you're on the right, don't cheer and be like, Nine Rain agrees with me, we should kill lefties. That's not where I'm going with this. There is a sense, and this is my honest opinion, and maybe I'm wrong. Like I'm open to the idea of me being wrong. I'm open to having a conversation about this. I tweeted twice on the subject. My first tweet was about, let me actually just read it so that I don't have to paraphrase.
Yeah, that's fine.
I'll read some of it. The first tweet was, I said, those of you who play victim, who throw around words like Nazi or racist, who demonize people who disagree with your worldview, you helped create this. And then I went on to say, the fight has always been over ideas and about what is good and right in the world and how to get there. So that was my example of the gun control thing I mentioned earlier. We both want safety. The right and the left have different ideas about how to get there. Okay. And then the last point I made is, do not let people tell you that all ideas, all cultures, all belief systems are created equal. That divine right only belongs to the individual. And by that I mean the divine right of being equal before God, whether you believe in God or not. The idea being that there's an equal value placed on every human. Absolutely agree. But there's not an equal value based on every culture. And I think everyone would agree with that. Lefties kind of cringe when you put it that way, but hey, the whole perspective of the left right now is built on the fact that they believe they live in a patriarchal rape culture and they hate it. Okay, well, you're allowed to hate that culture, so you're admitting that some cultures are better than others. Okay, so the point I was making with that first tweet is I actually think that there's a real sense in which the left has been misbehaving to a greater degree for 10, 15 years. Now, I know a lot of people are going to be like, well, the right does blank. And I agree with you. The right does blank. But I'm actually really, there is a sense in which it's a damn good thing a right-winger got shot and not a left-winger. Because if it was some dude on the left, there would be blood in the streets. Buildings would be burning. And I actually think that that's true. Now, there's some right-wingers that I've seen these days that are trying to take it there, and I think they're fucking stupid, and they don't know what they're doing, and they're reacting emotionally, just like the lefties were, and I think both of those are stupid and reprehensible. But there is a sense in which the streets aren't burning right now, and it hasn't been a fair fight. Do you agree or disagree with that?
Well, saying that the left doesn't like to go out and demonstrate their peaceful protesting would just be a lie. I will say...
I'm sorry, what do you mean?
Okay, so you trying to say that like when people like George Floyd died or someone died to cop violence, that people go out to protest and eventually it leads to like a Target or a Wendy's burning down, like the Wendy's that burned down in Atlanta. And to that I agree with. But just 2 months ago, a Democratic senator was murdered in her home with her husband, and I don't think a Target got burned down after that.
Yeah, fair enough. So, cool. But I've seen a lot of people bring up that point about like, well, where's the media coverage of that? I don't think that's a fair point because not everything gets media coverage and not everything needs to get media coverage. And you know, you could have made the same point about, I'm sure when the George Floyd thing was going on, there were probably school shootings that didn't get mentioned.
I mean,
and that's just
like the Colorado shooting during Charlie Kirk's.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so my only point is, if someone were to say to me, well, why didn't this Democrat dying get the media coverage? Well, it didn't because it wasn't as important to the zeitgeist. It was just as important to her family as anyone's death of a family member would be. But, like, why did the left celebrate Charlie Kirk dying, but they didn't celebrate, I'm sure a right-winger died yesterday, some rando. But the left didn't have a big emotional reaction to that.
Well, because Charlie Kirk is more known, and this was a lot more dramatic fashion than the senator
right,
dying.
So that's correct. So that's my only response to well, what about the Democratic senator? It's neither the left nor the right responded in a big way to that.
Mm-hmm.
So it's both.
It's situational. Is what you're saying.
And what I've seen the left saying is, well, why didn't the right make a big deal about this political death? Well, why didn't the left make a big deal of this political death? Nobody did. And I've also seen people try to make the case that it was similar in kind. It was dramatically different in a couple of really big ways. First of all, the guy who attacked the lady and her husband and the dog. I've only read what's online, but it seems like the guy was actually not a right-winger at all. It wasn't a right-wing guy killing a left-wing person. It seemed like the two senators that got targeted were two Democrats that actually sided on the right side of a bill recently. And it kind of looks like they died for being righties in that sense and not following the party line, which might suggest that it was the opposite of a Charlie Kirk situation. It was actually, hey, you didn't follow the left, so we killed you. And I'm not even saying that that's the case. I'm just saying it was so different in very important ways that drawing a direct correlation to the Charlie Kirk thing, I don't think is really like a fair comparison.
No, I do agree with that because this is a very different type of killing. I mean, murder is murder, and it's both tragic in some sense. But this was immediately on the internet the moment it happened. The response time of everyone figuring out what the fuck just happened. is insane, and it became immediately sensationalized. Immediately.
Yeah. So to continue on that like tweet that I tweeted to kind of get to the point, I do actually think the left has been pushing if I had to take a step back and name the thing, what the problem we're in right now is identity politics. It's labeling people and putting them in groups based off of their political groups. It's putting people in groups based off of their race or their gender. It's putting people in groups and then shrinking them to the size of that group. And I think the left has been doing that for a really long time. All of their policies, all of their platforms are based strictly off of equity and all these doctrines and the way that they choose to measure you is your identity group. And so it doesn't treat people like an individual. And they've been doing this to the right, calling them Nazis and fascists and the greatest threat to democracy America's ever seen for 10 years.
Okay, but doesn't the conservative side do the same thing? The trans are coming for your kids.
They do.
They're indoctrinating your kids in college to be liberals.
Yes, 100%. But my answer to that is they do now. This, as far as I can remember, and I'm not a political historian. I'm not even that interested in politics. I'm interested in what people care about and big ideas. So in that regard, I'm involved in all this stuff. But as far as I can tell, this really ramped up with Obama. He was the first president that I remember, and was the first president. Maybe it's not even his fault. Maybe it's just social media and the new media. And he was just along for the ride. But Obama was the first guy to really play identity politics really hard. And ever since then, it's been a snowball that is just getting worse and worse. And I know Trump does, like, people are criticizing him, and fairly so, for ramping up the rhetoric and raising the temperatures, the things that people on the left are saying. But I also watched Joe Biden do that every single day of his presidency. I mean, like, he tweeted basically once a week, almost direct quotes of Trump and MAGA Republicans are the greatest threat to our democracy we have ever seen. They're an existential threat and must be stopped at all costs. That is crazy.
After a mini insurrection, yeah.
Dude,
I mean,
January 6th, I think, is like one of the biggest red herrings. If there's anything that people can believe was a psyop, January 6th reeks of psyop.
Before you continue, you want to know what I just think it is?
What?
I think Trump got a lot of people there, and a lot of people were drinking beers and setting up guillotines to kill.
You could totally see that. I think that's
and they're like, "Are we doing this?" And Trump, and he's like, Trump's not saying not to do it, and he's like, I think we're doing this.
Hey, fair enough, but that also came. First of all, the way that the left has ridden that story for 8 years, shut the fuck up. I don't care anymore. I do not care. Nobody cares. Like, 5 people got hurt. No, I'm kidding. It's a lot worse than that.
Yeah, yes, I think 2 people died, bro.
You should have seen the way that the people involved were completely prosecuted, not to the full extent of the law, extremely unlawfully. Their lives were absolutely ripped from their hands.
Okay, but do you not think the state would do that to its citizens after them breaking into a Capitol building and people are dying?
Do you not
expect any state, federal, or like...
You can even say that, they deserved that. Fine. I don't really care to argue about January 6th because I feel like it's been lied about way too much for you, SaintTits, or me, Aaron, Nine to actually say what the fuck happened.
No, well,
first of all,
I agree with that. What I'm just saying about how the sentences were handed out, I can definitely see any government handing out way harsher than expected sentences to these people. That can you not? What government wouldn't do that after what took place, whether it's wrong or right?
I mean, I've seen videos that people on the left have sent me that made it seem like fucking Hiroshima. And I've seen videos that people on the right have sent me that made it look like a fucking field trip with like squeaky shoes and like people are just like, no, hey, well,
I think it was
here.
different parts of the building where different shit was going down.
Look, all I'm saying is I've seen both. And anyways, even if January 6th was literal D-Day on America, which CNN truly believes that, I don't know what CNN truly believes. But
I was drinking when it was happening. I was drinking and watching it.
To me, if I'm watching the left and the right, it looks like a toxic relationship.
Absolutely.
And the left is the toxic, bitchy girlfriend, and the right is the like avoidant douchebag boyfriend. And if I'm being honest, and this is just my opinion, I've been watching that bitch on the left run her goddamn mouth for 10 years.
What a crazy analogy.
And fucking throw shit around the house and shit on his bed. And then he got drunk one night and he hit her in the face. And I'm not saying women deserve to get hit in the face. And I'm not saying that he should have done that. But you can understand why he did it. You'd have to be a good man not to. But a bad man would fucking do it. And you'd be like, look at her. She's been making his life hell for 10 years. And that's what I think is happening. I think it's a shitty relationship. And brother got fed up with it and then was like, fuck you. And I think we're seeing that happen again with Charlie Kirk. And my second tweet was telling people on the right, hey, your whole point is that these people on the left have been lied to, that mainstream media has been twisting stories, that social media has been twisting stories, that these shouldn't be believed, and that they are reacting violently out of emotions. Okay, if you're right, then you don't get to do that right now. So to the people on the right, don't trust the view that you're getting on social media. Pull back a little bit. Don't trust the mainstream. Don't trust Fox News. Are you kidding me? Bro, that ship sailed 15 years ago at best. Look, and I don't know, man. And if you get conservative and far right enough, then you're just going to look at all the names of the people who own all the media, and then you're definitely not going to trust Fox News. I'm not saying that's me, but there are people on the right who take that opinion, and it's like, fuck. I
also just like to think about where people get their political opinions from in this day and age. And like you said, once you go down like a rabbit hole of not trusting mainstream media, you're listening to people on YouTube. Maybe you join like a Discord channel, and then at that point, who knows what the fuck is influencing you and what the fuck they're saying. And I really don't believe that like you and me can grasp how like big Discord is in terms of like having communities like that for these
maybe
younger...
I'm such a mediocre Discord user. I have my Discord that I'm in, and then I have some Discords for like Crusader Talent and Based, and then like some of my friend groups who, when we organize game nights or whatever, like, yeah.
Well, just think about like, you remember using Skype, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like Discord is Skype times 1,000. Imagine being just some high school kid and you don't have a lot of friends, and you're like, oh, I'm just gonna go look for Discord communities to join, and like that's what people do. And before you know it, you find this group of young fellas that you really like, and you're like, wow, all you guys have a lot of blonde hair and blue eyes.
Dude, here's my hey, you can't hate on that. Do you hate the fact that no seriously, do you hate the fact that like if a group of black dudes walked by, are you gonna be like, what the fuck are you hanging out with only black dudes? You gonna judge them? Let the blondies hang out with the blondies, dude. I'm just saying, like, if you're gonna judge them, judge both. That's all that I'm saying.
Oh, I don't.
This comes from someone.
I don't judge anybody. Live your life.
This
how you
comes
wanna.
from someone. All of my friends are tanner than me. All of them. I'm the whitest guy. I didn't choose this. I wouldn't have chose this. I fucking burn like crazy. It's annoying. So no, I'm just taking the piss at this point. But you made a okay. I do want to kind of round out what I said earlier. People need to be skeptical of what they would like to believe. When the facts are agreeing with you, be skeptical. Don't be cynical. Cynical people are annoying as fuck and are ruining the world. Be skeptical. Because that will get you farther than almost anything that I could advise when it comes to dealing with the media. When the narrative is going your way and you know what your way is, because almost everybody I know picked a fucking team and they like to wave their little flag. Fuck that, by the way. But if the story is agreeing with where you would like it to go, be skeptical.
Not only be skeptical, don't have an idol. Don't have something you just worship and stick to. Always try to think for yourselves and not just go in with the rhetoric. Try to be an individual and don't take any of these people's personal beliefs into like your own accord, because more than likely they're making money off of it. And that's why they're doing it.
Yeah, okay, hell yeah, dude. I knew the nihilistic fucking SaintTits, like, oh yeah, I knew that was gonna come in.
Dude, we're right sometimes.
We're
right sometimes, but
this fucking guy. Yeah, you are right sometimes. Yeah.
At the end of the day, this has been, especially Twitter now. Twitter has been fine-tuned for fucking fraud, for people to make money off of, and that is what it is. That is what Twitter has just turned into. It's not a good faith argument, even though Twitter never really was. Twitter was just supposed to be a place where you could post funny, cool shit. And now it's just a rage bait echo chamber full of people with anime profile pictures calling other people the N-word and F-word all the time.
Dude, when I got on Twitter, because I made my YouTube channel, and I just joined RuneScape Twitter. That was it. I just logged on and all we did was talk about RuneScape. Mm-hmm. And it was RuneScape art and RuneScape topics and people telling each other GZ. That was like, and it was that for like 2 wholesome years. Mm-hmm. I think like 2018, 2019, or 2019, 2020. I don't remember which, but it was very different. Now it's, people got some shit to say on Twitter. And fair enough. Part of that is people are getting older and they're growing up and their interests
it's also just culture clash as well. It's just the pendulum going the other way. And 4chan also got taken down too, so that was another big migration that we saw. So if you don't let people have their special little place, they just go to what's available, and Elon let that lid off the jar a while ago. So now Twitter's that place too. So it is what it is. But, dude, we've been yapping for 2 hours.
Hell yeah. Oh my God, 2:15.
Yeah, we've been going for quite a while. Is there anything that you want to close on? Any final statements about anything? I mean, this has been really fun. This has been really cool.
I'll actually, you know what? Instead of like normally at the end, people kind of like wrap something up and put a little period on it. I'm gonna put a big fucking question mark. In fact, I'm gonna start the first part of a paragraph and then leave it like open. What I want people, because this is the part that actually is really interesting to me. I've tried to weave it in throughout our conversations. The example of the boyfriend and girlfriend and the toxic relationship, the discussion about masculine and feminine versus male and female. I'm gonna posit a model of looking at the world that I think people need to think about and need to understand. And a lot of the disagreements and arguments that we have in our society right now are happening because there's 4 levels through which we're viewing this dichotomy, and people will be arguing one side from level 1 and then someone will respond with level 3, for example, and they're arguing across levels. And so it's nonsensical and they keep talking past each other. So I'm going to break this down really quick and then I'm going to leave that with people and then they can go look it up and research it and read some books and talk to ChatGPT until they fall in love. So there's these different levels of analysis at which you can look at the world. The first level analysis, when it comes to the dichotomy, the dance between left and right, masculine and feminine, is the world of the spirit. It's the world of archetypes. It's masculine and feminine. These are energies. These are ways of understanding the world. You can be masculine and feminine. You can do a thing can be masculine. Another thing can be feminine. A person can act masculine 1 second and then act feminine another. People own both of these energies, these archetypes.
Mm-hmm.
Beneath the world of the spirit, which is masculine and feminine, you have that's the dreamscape, the world of dreams. Beneath that, you have male and female. No, I lied. You have man and woman. These are roles. These are, and you could give them different names, but they're the ways in which we embody the roles that are dominated by either masculine or feminine. So we have masculine, feminine. Then the next level, we have male and female. These are roles. These are societal. And these are, did I say male and female? Oh, fuck me. Man and woman is the second level. And they're negotiated, by the way. Masculine and feminine, we can't really escape from. It's too deep. Masculine and feminine existed way before humanity and will outlive us. Man and woman is humanity in some sense. It's if people say, okay, well, gender's a spectrum. Yeah, but it's a spectrum between man and woman. So I agree with you. And you can embody these roles differently. And they interact with the world of the spirit, which is masculine and feminine. But they are, unlike masculine and feminine, which are these kind of transcendental energies, man and woman are negotiated. This is where people say stuff like, well, this is only a social construct. First of all, I'd agree with you. In a large part, it is a social construct, but I wouldn't say it's only a social construct. That's like saying a dog with 4 legs is a social construct. Okay, but it's a 4-legged dog for a very good reason, because gender is not really 2 groups. It's also not, it's kind of a spectrum. It's a bimodal distribution where it groups very heavily on one end and the other, and then those being man and woman, the roles. And then there's some exceptions all along the spectrum in between, but you can't ignore the huge fucking data points of almost everybody does fit into these 2 groups. Okay, there's a lot of other roles that you can have in your life, mother, father, sister, brother, whatever. They're negotiated roles. This is the world, the social world. Now, the third one, beneath that, male and female. And the funny thing is, we argue about this one so much, and it's by far the least interesting. But when people argue about this, it's because they get it confused with the social world. There's nothing socially constructed about male and female. Flowers have a male and a female bud. But everything in nature is broken up into male or female in some sense. And of course, there's some exceptions. I actually know a true hermaphrodite. Of course, there's exceptions, but you can only talk about those being an exception because you know the rule. And so anyways, those are the 3 categories. There's the world of the spirit, there's the social world, and then there's the physical world. And I think people need to pay attention to which one of those 3 levels, I said it was 4 earlier, you can technically keep moving down and break things up into.
The 4th world is hell.
the fourth one would be further delineating past the world of the material world and breaking it up into smaller parts.
DMT, mushrooms.
We don't need to. That doesn't really matter. The idea is, at least with these three, it's spirit, which is masculine and feminine. Then there's the social world, which is man and woman, or mother and father, or whatever. It's the roles that we play. And they're important to understand. And then they're there for a reason, and good reasons. And you can break them if you want, and you can do your own thing with your life. But there's a reason that they're there. And then the bottom one, the least interesting one, which you just measure and look at. It's like, look, those are balls. Male and female is just the physical world of science. And so just make sure when you're having conversations about these things, you're not mixing up. Don't make an argument about the world of male and female and then slip in feminine and then slip in man. You're confusing yourself and you're confusing what it is you're talking about. So that's what I'll leave people with, is just that distinction between the three levels of which you can break up this like masculine, feminine kind of dichotomy. So, because I think that's really important for people to understand. Because again, immediately, what we talked about all day was the left and the right. Masculine and feminine. You know which one is which. Mm-hmm. And you can go think of examples of females and males behaving in their archetypal ways that represents how the left and the right act politically. You can go look at Runescape and look at the way that like objects and places are designed in their masculine and feminine traits. You can do like all of this can be understood through this little dichotomy. So that's it. That's what I got. I think people should think about that a lot more.
Well, Nine-Rain, this has been a pleasure. I thank you so much for your time, your effort, your wonderful conversations. I look forward to many, many more. And anyone who's still listening, wow, this has been an absolute heater of a podcast. And I thank you all for listening. Until next time, I'll see you later.
Peace.